Hi everyone, Laura here from Wani, and today I'm very excited to be speaking with Floor Jansen from Nightwish. Flora, how are you?
Hey, hi. I'm good, thanks. Good to be here.
Yes, I'm so happy we're connected. I feel like I have so much that I could chat with you about, but I do know that our main focus today is your upcoming Celebration in Sound Decades, which is a compilation album that celebrates 20 years of Nightwish. So a really long, illustrious career in any world, and even more so for a band. So congratulations. How is everyone feeling about this anniversary?
Yeah, good. I first it's like anniversary. It's like a celebration of all those years of all this music that has been written, and it really gave that idea of how do you celebrate that if you can say, well, hey, let's just release an album where you go back in time and go on tour and dedicate the whole tour just to that. That feels great.
What can you tell us about the process of putting the album together?
Well, everybody of the band got to put in an idea, but it was two of us who, or an idea, like an ideal set, but it was two of us who in the end decided to, who made the decisions on which songs were going to be. No, I think it was also his idea to go back in time, instead of starting in the beginning and going to the future. It starts with our latest work.
That's great. I did actually read somewhere that Tuomas said that selecting the tracks for Decades was like killing your darlings.
It's impossible to choose, really, and that's also why you can't call it a best of, because you would always leave things out. But it is a good overview of the sound as it is and has been over the course of time.
And you are gearing up for a world tour for Decades as well, is that correct?
Yeah, in 2 weeks we'll fly to North America to kick off there with a 7-week trip.
So how have preparations and rehearsals been for that?
Very good. We begin coming together in January, and actually 2 days ago I came back from a week in Finland where we had our second rehearsal with production, so that we put everything together, and it was great to feel everything come together more and more, and especially that last day, it really felt like, okay, now we're ready. And so it was almost weird to go back home first and have 2 weeks home before actually going out.
I think I read somewhere as well that Tuomas said that there was one point in rehearsals where he just felt himself grinning, just so happy from hearing some of the older material that you guys had touched in rehearsal. How was it for the rest of the band? Did you witness or experience that yourself?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, this is the first time that in this setting we get to play these songs and give them a new face without changing them per se. But yeah, with the sound that we have today, with also Troy there with his unique sound and multiple instruments, the fact that we sing with 3 people now, the approach of things became different, and it's cool to see things come together. It's musicianship, really, that it's not just playing old songs, it's making them come alive and make them your own, and that surely puts a huge grin on your face when you feel that come together.
Are there any songs on Decades that you haven't performed live before?
Many, yeah.
Wow. How does it feel for you to visit this material?
Yeah, it's a road down memory lane, and a unique opportunity to give it my own twist. It's a huge honor, really, and like I said, it puts me back in time and into some of those early years too, where I was just a teenager, a huge fan of this band, and having my own band, trying to find my place in this world, and things have really changed in the course of time, and it's cool to go back to that nostalgia.
Yeah, I would imagine, I don't want to speak on your behalf, but I could imagine that there would be a little bit of pressure for you sort of making these songs that you initially heard as a fan. Now you're singing them in Nightwish as the vocalist. Did you find any weird pressure there when you were going through that?
Well, it's not the first time, fortunately.
Yeah.
It's now more than ever. But as soon as I joined the band, that type of pressure came upon me, and fortunately, because of my kind of unusual start in the band, I had no time to really think about all that. I just wanted to sing the songs as good as I know how to, and then the judging is up to the rest of the world, I suppose. But it has been feeling really good, and my approach has been appreciated and accepted. So hopefully, in this with this stuff too.
I also recall reading somewhere that Tuomas said that the biggest difference can be found in the stories that we want to tell, when he was sort of referring to the songs from 20 years ago versus now and that evolution. Are there any new Nightwish stories on the horizon?
You mean new material?
Yeah.
Yeah, I know that Tuomas has been writing. So there, I guess he's such a creative spirit. There's always something bubbling. But of course, now with this world tour literally at our doorstep, all the focus goes to this. But in the regards of lyrics, I have no clue. I also have not heard the material. Even if you would want to share it, I'm not sure if I'd have the space in my system for it, because preparing a tour like this takes everything. But it's a very nice feeling that this creative flow is continuous in him, and we'll surely look into all this storytelling in the next year to come.
I'd imagine that the release of Decades must also be creating some interesting space for reflection for Nightwish. And, yourself, you have that unique vantage point, having joined the band in 2012. How would you say that the band has evolved over the years?
Oof, yeah. I would say that it became more grown up in its sound and also in its themes. The poetic touch that Tuomas has also always had matured and bettered. He's been really exploring storytelling and going into music, regardless of who plays or sings it. He has a unique sound, and I think that became more distinctive throughout the years. I think that would be a good summary.
How do you think you've evolved as a singer with Nightwish?
Yeah, geez. I think I grew more and more comfortable in really singing everything my own way, and with the coaching of Tuomas, in that sense that I want him to be happy. So I always ask him for feedback if I start with something. With a new old song, so to speak, or also with the creation of Endless Forms Most Beautiful. It's sort of a vocal puzzle to make, and I've never made it with somebody else. I've usually been, it's been my thing, and it's a band process, but I've never been so directly reflecting it back to another band member. But not being the songwriter, this creative process is different, and it's been very inspiring, and a lot. I think I really grew in that part to be open to that, and to experiment with new sounds as well, and really using everything I have to offer in the whole storytelling of these Nightwish songs, and I feel like I really found my place in that more than ever.
Thank you for sharing that. That's great. I just have one last question, if that's okay, and it's one. I'm smiling because I heard this question on a podcast recently, and I feel that it's actually quite relevant to our chat today. What advice would you give to your younger self of 20 years ago? So what would you want younger Floor to know about her future?
It's going to be fine. I think it's that the constant concern, and at the same time I would bite myself in the ass for that, because the concern and the hard work, it all leads to something. So I would probably more focus on the confidence, and I think that every younger self lacks the confidence that the older self gets, and you need your years for that. So I wish I could tell myself, the younger self, that I actually did look really good. I like myself much better now, and as I did back then, which comes with years as well. And yeah, so it's such an inevitable evolution that we all need to make. But I wish I could tell myself that things are fine. You look good. Don't worry.
Yeah, you're right. That evolution does come with miles, doesn't it? You kind of have to live it.
You have to. Yeah.
Awesome. Thank you for your patience today. It's great. All the best. Travel safe. See you in the summer.
Thank you too. Thank
Bye.
you. Bye.